If you're over 60, there's one seemingly harmless habit that could quietly increase your risk of having a stroke while you sleep. No pain, no obvious warning signs. 1 minute you feel perfectly fine, and the next, you might struggle to lift your arm, your speech could be slurred, or your balance suddenly disappears. As a neurologist, I've witnessed far too many older adults experience this frightening reality. Not because of smoking, a poor diet, or lack of exercise, but due to something they truly believe was helping them: vitamins. Yes, you heard that right, vitamins. Every day, millions of seniors take supplements hoping to strengthen their bones, boost energy levels, or maintain sharp memory. While many vitamins can indeed support good health, some, particularly when consumed in high doses or taken at the wrong time of day, may silently put your brain at risk. Scientific research has shown that certain vitamins can interfere with blood clotting, blood pressure regulation, and vessel stability during sleep, potentially triggering strokes or even dangerous brain bleeds. Today, I'm going to reveal 5 common vitamins D, E, B6, A, and niacin that, if misused, could raise your risk of early morning stroke events when your brain is most vulnerable. If you've ever taken any of these supplements, this video could genuinely be life-saving. Before we begin, I'd love to know, have you ever questioned whether your daily vitamins might be harming your brain? Type 1 in the comments if you're curious to learn more. Type 0 if this is all new to you. And if you care about keeping your brain healthy or protecting someone you love, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for clear, science-backed advice made specifically for older adults. Let's begin with one of the most unexpected truths about vitamin D, a nutrient many consider completely safe. What you don't know about it could quietly turn what should be a peaceful night's sleep into a serious health threat. You've likely heard vitamin D praised for supporting strong bones, lifting mood, and boosting the immune system. All of that is true, but only when taken in the right amounts and at the right time of day. Here's what most seniors are never warned about. Consistently taking excessive doses of vitamin D, particularly at night, can silently increase your risk of suffering a stroke. Take Mr. Edric, a 75-year-old retired Navy veteran, as an example. Known for his discipline and strict routine, he carefully lined up his supplements every morning. Among them was a high-dose vitamin D capsule, 10,000 IU, which he believed was safeguarding his bones. Unfortunately, without realizing it, this daily habit was creating a hidden danger. One morning, his wife found him confused, unable to speak clearly, with his right arm limp. He had suffered a stroke during the night. Lab results later revealed dangerously high calcium levels, stiffened arteries, and unstable blood pressure, all signs of vitamin D toxicity. Here's what happens. When you take too much vitamin D, especially without medical supervision, it forces your body to absorb more calcium than it can handle. That excess calcium doesn't just vanish. It builds up in your arteries, making them hard and narrow. Combine that with dehydration, natural age-related artery stiffness, and nighttime calcium spikes, and you have a perfect storm for a blood clot that can travel straight to the brain. What's frightening is that there are often no warning signs. You feel fine before bed, only to wake up facing life-altering consequences. Many over-the-counter vitamin D supplements in the U.S. contain 5,000 IU or even 10,000 IU per dose, far more than most older adults actually need. In fact, research shows that even 2,000 IU daily could be too much if you're not deficient. That's why it's essential to know exactly how many IUs you're taking, get your vitamin D levels checked regularly, and always take your dose in the morning, not before bedtime. If you're currently taking vitamin D, type D in the comments below, and if this advice made you rethink your supplement routine, give this video a like to help others stay safe. Now, if that surprises you, stay tuned, because the next vitamin we'll discuss is one many seniors take for heart health, but in certain cases, it can trigger something even more dangerous than a clot. A brain blue. Let's take a closer look at vitamin E, a nutrient often celebrated as the heart's best friend. For decades, many adults over 60 have been adding vitamin E supplements to their daily routines, hoping to protect their hearts, improve blood flow, sharpen memory, and even maintain youthful skin. On the surface, it sounds harmless, even beneficial. After all, vitamins are supposed to help, right? Unfortunately, what many people don't know is that taking too much vitamin E, especially when combined with certain heart medications, can quietly set the stage for a dangerous complication, an increased risk of bleeding inside the brain. This risk isn't hypothetical. It happens in real life. I'll never forget the story of Mrs. Amelia, an 83-year-old retired librarian from Ohio. Amelia was sharp, witty, and rarely seen without a book in her hand. She had a history of heart valve issues and was prescribed warfarin, a common blood thinner, to help prevent blood clots. Her doctors kept a close eye on her health. Her blood tests were normal, her blood pressure steady, and everything seemed under control. Then one day, she came across an advertisement in a magazine for a natural vitamin E supplement, boasting 800 IU per capsule. She thought, why not? Maybe this will help my memory and circulation. 3 weeks later, Amelia was rushed to the emergency room with severe headache, confusion, and vomiting. A CT scan revealed a hemorrhagic stroke bleeding inside her brain. The cause wasn't high blood pressure or a fall. It was the combination of high-dose vitamin E and warfarin, which together had made her blood so thin that a tiny vessel in her brain burst. Most people don't realize this, but in high doses, vitamin E acts like a natural blood thinner. When taken alongside medications like aspirin, Plavix, or warfarin, the risk of dangerous internal bleeding can rise significantly. Even a small brain bleed can rob you of your memory, your ability to speak, or even your independence. What makes this even more alarming is that the recommended daily allowance of vitamin E for older adults is only 15 milligram, about 22 IU. Yet many supplements sold over the counter contain 200, 400, or even 1,000 IU per capsule, often without clear warnings. People unknowingly take these high doses for years, believing they're doing something healthy. Amelia survived her stroke, but she now walks with a cane, and her short-term memory was never the same. Through tears, she told me, "I just wanted to help myself. I didn't know I was doing harm." Sadly, she's not alone. So many seniors believe that if it's labeled a vitamin, it must be safe. But the truth is, not every vitamin is risk-free, especially when combined with heart or blood-thinning medications. Always talk to your doctor before adding supplements to your routine, because sometimes the smallest pill can have the biggest and most devastating consequences. If the thought of a brain bleed wasn't unsettling enough, there's another hidden danger that often goes unnoticed. It comes from a vitamin that many people take daily, believing it supports their nerves, boosts their energy, and even protects their brain. But in reality, this same vitamin can slowly and silently damage your nervous system, and in some cases, the damage can be permanent. Let's talk about vitamin B6. Vitamin B6 is frequently marketed as a nerve support, brain booster, or energy enhancer. You've probably seen bottles in pharmacies or online claiming to improve memory, focus, or circulation. Friends, family members, or even well-meaning caregivers might have told you that it's good for aging nerves. However, here's what most seniors are never warned about. Too much vitamin B6 can actually harm your nerves, sometimes irreversibly. Take the story of Mr. Robert, a 70-year-old retired truck driver from Kansas. When he came into my office, he complained of numbness in his feet, tingling in his hands, and trouble keeping his balance. At first, he assumed it was just part of getting older. But things got worse. He began falling, once, then again, until a third fall left him hitting his head on the bathroom floor. When I reviewed his supplements, the cause became clear. He had been taking a nerve support formula for over a year. Each tablet contained 100 milligrams of vitamin B6, and he was taking 2 tablets a day, a total of 200 milligrams daily, more than 10 times the recommended safe upper limit for older adults. Here's the frightening part. Unlike some vitamins that flush out easily through urine, B6 builds up in your system over time. In older adults, this accumulation can damage the protective sheath around your nerves, the insulation that keeps nerve signals running smoothly. Imagine stripping the coating off an electrical wire. Eventually, it starts to malfunction. The result? Tingling, numbness, muscle weakness, balance problems, tremors, confusion, even memory loss. What's worse, the symptoms develop slowly. Many people mistake them for arthritis, poor circulation, or even early dementia. But often the real culprit is B6 toxicity, a completely preventable kind of nerve damage caused by taking excessive doses of a vitamin you thought was helping you. Mr. Robert was fortunate. We stopped the supplement before things got worse, but some of the damage remained. He still needs a cane to walk and can no longer drive safely. As he told me with tears in his eyes, "I just wanted to protect my brain. I didn't know I was poisoning it." To be clear, vitamin B6 is essential but only in very small amounts. Older adults typically need just 2 to 10 milligrams per day, and that includes the amount you naturally get from food. Yet many brain support or nerve health pills sold online or in stores contain 50, 100, even 200 milligrams per dose. That's not only unnecessary, it's dangerous. So if you or someone you know is taking supplements for nerve, brain, or energy support, check the label immediately. Know how much B6 you're consuming. And remember this story before assuming that more vitamins always means better health. Because sometimes the pill you think is protecting your brain could be quietly damaging it instead. Now you might be thinking, well, at least other vitamins like vitamin A for eyesight must be completely safe, right? The truth is, not exactly. Let's take a closer look at vitamin A. If you're like many older adults, you've probably heard countless times that vitamin A is important for maintaining healthy eyesight. Perhaps you've also taken it, believing it could boost your immune system, keep your skin youthful, or help you age gracefully. But here's the part very few people talk about. Especially crucial if you're over 60. Taking too much vitamin A can actually harm your health in ways most don't expect. Unlike some nutrients that simply pass through your system, vitamin A builds up in your body. Over time, excessive amounts can raise the pressure inside your skull, imitate the symptoms of a stroke, damage your vision, and even impair brain function. Consider the story of Mrs. Delilah, a 75-year-old retired piano teacher from Michigan. Delilah spent her golden years doing what she loved, teaching music lessons in her cozy living room, enjoying independence, and cherishing time with her students. But one day, she developed persistent headaches. Soon after came blurred vision, dizzy spells, and slurred speech. Fearing a stroke, her family rushed her to the hospital. Yet the brain scans revealed no clot, no bleeding. Instead, doctors found elevated intracranial pressure, too much fluid pressing on her brain. The unexpected culprit? Vitamin A toxicity. Delilah had been unknowingly taking nearly 10,000 IU of vitamin A every single day for over 5 years, believing it was helping her skin and eyes. Here's the critical thing about vitamin A. It's fat-soluble. Your body doesn't flush it out easily like vitamin C or B vitamins. Instead, it gets stored in your liver, fatty tissues, and even your brain. As we age, our liver processes nutrients more slowly, causing toxic levels to build up faster. This condition, known as pseudotumor cerebri or false brain tumor, can mimic dangerous neurological events. Symptoms include severe headaches, double vision, dizziness, nausea, and in some cases, irreversible vision loss or cognitive decline. The tricky part is that many multivitamins already meet the recommended daily allowance of vitamin A, which for seniors is around 2,500 to 3,000 IU per day under medical supervision. But people like Dorothy unknowingly double or triple their intake by stacking skin, eye, or anti-aging supplements on top of their regular multivitamin. Some products sold online even contain 5,000 to 10,000 IU or more per dose, taken daily for months or years. This creates a silent but harmful buildup. Delilah is slowly recovering today but requires regular eye exams, pressure monitoring, and balanced therapy to manage the lasting effects. She told me, "I thought I was helping my body. I never dreamed I could be hurting my brain." Her story isn't meant to frighten anyone. It's a reminder that more is not always better. Understanding how fat-soluble vitamins work, checking supplement labels carefully, and consulting your doctor before high-dose use can help protect not just your vision, but your independence and overall brain health. Now, if you thought eyesight vitamins came with hidden risks, wait until you hear what can happen when a vitamin commonly promoted for cholesterol and heart health unexpectedly sends your blood pressure skyrocketing. Let's talk about niacin, also known as vitamin B3, a supplement you may have taken yourself or been told to take for your heart. Niacin is often praised as a natural remedy to lower cholesterol levels. Some doctors even prescribe it, and you'll find it added to many heart health supplements, energy drinks, and even fortified cereals. But here's what's rarely mentioned, particularly for older adults. High doses of niacin can quietly trigger dangerous fluctuations in blood pressure and, in severe cases, even lead to a stroke. Take the story of Mr. Nolan, an 85-year-old retired postman from Florida. When he first came to see me, he had an unusual mix of symptoms: hot flashes that made his face burn red, a pounding sensation in his chest, waves of dizziness that came and went almost every morning. His wife suspected anxiety. His son blamed his prescribed blood pressure medication. But the real culprit was something no one had thought to check: a supposedly safe over-the-counter heart supplement. The front of the bottle boldly promised, "Supports healthy cholesterol and circulation." The back revealed the truth: 1,000 milligrams of niacin per serving, and Frank was taking it twice a day. That's 2,000 milligrams daily, more than 60 times the amount most seniors actually need. Here's what happens when you take niacin in excessive amounts. It causes your blood vessels to suddenly expand, which is why your face may flush or feel uncomfortably warm. But shortly after, those same vessels constrict again, creating a rapid yo-yo effect that can raise your blood pressure, stress your heart, and reduce blood flow to your brain. Over time, this constant vascular push and pull is like tapping a hammer repeatedly on fragile glass. Eventually, something cracks. Nolan experienced what's called a transient ischemic attack, often described as a mini-stroke. His speech slurred for about 2 minutes before returning to normal. He thought it was a one-off incident. Unfortunately, I had to tell him the truth. His daily heart-healthy supplement was quietly putting his brain and life at risk. And Nolan is far from alone. Many seniors unknowingly take high doses of niacin, often believing that flush-free or extended releases versions are completely safe. But these forms can still raise blood pressure, trigger heart rhythm problems like atrial fibrillation, and disrupt blood sugar control. Here's what you must know. For adults over 60, anything above 50 milligrams of niacin per day should only be taken under strict medical supervision. If you have high blood pressure, heart rhythm irregularities, or are on prescription medications, check your supplement labels carefully, or better yet, talk to your doctor before continuing. Nolan is now off niacin and recovering well with no lasting damage. But his words still echo in my mind. "Doc, I thought I was doing everything right. I had no idea I was gambling with my brain." So now that we've explored 5 common vitamins that, despite their popularity, can quietly cause more harm than good to your brain, you might be wondering, what should I be taking instead? Or, more importantly, What should I actually eat to keep my brain healthy without unnecessary risks? These are important questions because the truth is, your body was never designed to rely on a handful of pills to thrive. Nature built us to flourish on real, whole, nutrient-dense foods. Foods that your brain instantly recognizes, absorbs, and uses in just the right amounts to keep you sharp, energized, and balanced. Let me share the story of Mrs. Isabella, a 75-year-old retired school principal from Georgia. When I first met her, she proudly showed me an entire drawer filled with supplements. There was vitamin D for her bones, vitamin E for her heart, a B complex for energy, niacin to help with cholesterol, a multivitamin for overall health, and several brain support capsules she had added after reading about memory loss prevention online. "I'm doing everything right, Doc," she said confidently. Yet, she was waking up dizzy almost every morning, struggling with poor balance, and seeing her blood pressure slowly creep higher year after year. Something wasn't adding up, so we tried a simple but powerful experiment. We cleared the clutter, one by one. We set aside the pills and replaced them with food. No magic diet, no strict rules, just clean, natural foods in the right portions and combinations. Her new breakfast was a perfect example. 1 boiled egg for high-quality protein, half an avocado packed with brain-loving healthy fats, a slice of whole-grain toast for steady energy release, a handful of blueberries bursting with antioxidants, and a glass of room-temperature water to hydrate her brain. Some mornings she tossed in a few walnuts or almonds for extra vitamin E and magnesium. No powders. No pills. Just food her body recognized as fuel. Within just a few weeks, Isabella's dizziness began to disappear. Her blood pressure normalized, her energy levels rose, and she told me her thinking felt sharper and clearer than it had in years. This wasn't magic. It was biology working the way it's supposed to. Your brain doesn't need megadoses of synthetic vitamins. It needs hydration, healthy fats, consistent energy, and a steady supply of micronutrients in their natural form. Real food offers exactly that balance. Some of the best foods for older adults who want to protect their brain and overall health include leafy greens like spinach, kale, and arugula, rich in folate, vitamin K, and antioxidants that support brain cell repair. Fatty fish such as salmon, sardines, or mackerel, loaded with omega-3 fatty acids essential for memory and cognitive function. Berries like blueberries, blackberries, and strawberries, high in polyphenols that help reduce brain inflammation. Nuts and seeds for vitamin E, magnesium, and healthy fats that keep neurons strong and communication between brain cells smooth. Whole grains like oats, quinoa, and whole grain bread to stabilize blood sugar, fueling the brain steadily throughout the day. And here's the best part. These foods don't just protect your brain, they also strengthen your heart, bones, mood, mobility, and even your immune system. Every bite becomes an investment in a healthier, stronger version of yourself. The real takeaway here is awareness. At 60, 70, or 80 years old, your body doesn't process supplements the same way it did decades ago. Even well-intentioned vitamin habits can quietly backfire if you're not paying attention to what your body truly needs. That's why understanding what goes into your body is far more powerful than simply swallowing another pill. You don't need to fear vitamins, but you do need to respect their potential risks. Read the labels. Ask your doctor the hard questions. Most importantly, listen to your body, especially when it sends small warning signals. If any part of this message spoke to you, I'd love to hear it. Tell me in the comments below. What's one change you'll make starting tomorrow to feed your brain with real nourishment? If you found this helpful, give this video a like to help others discover it too, and subscribe to our channel so we can keep learning, growing, and staying strong together. Remember, you're not alone on this journey, and it's never too late to take back control of your health. One meal, one choice, one step at a time.